Today, I answer a question about juicing. Is it worth it? I'm Brian Rigby, and this is Ask Brian. Today's question comes from Scott, who writes, I'm wondering what your opinion is on green drinks and juicing. Is it better to juice yourself or to use a greens powder mix? In answer to your question, Scott, let's look at what some of the pros and cons of juices, green powders, and also of whole vegetables are. To begin with, juices are potentially an extremely quick and easy way to boost nutrition in your diet. However, there are a couple of concerns that I have. First, you should make sure that whenever you're juicing primarily vegetables. A lot of people are tempted to start adding a lot of fruits into their vegetable juices because it adds some palatability, it makes them easier to get down, and just makes them tasty in general. But whenever you start adding fruit, you dramatically decrease the nutrient density because you dramatically increase the calories of that drink. The other thing that I'm concerned with juices is that liquids pass extremely quickly through our digestive system. It only takes around 1.5 hours for a liquid to pass from our stomach all the way through to where we can no longer absorb any of the nutrients from it. So while a juice may potentially be packed with nutrients, there's a question of how many of those nutrients we can actually absorb before it passes out of the range of our digestive tract. With a greens mix, it's very convenient, but it's not going to be even as nutrient dense as a juice, simply because it has to be processed, it has to be freeze-dried, and it has to be able to store for long periods of time. Juices are going to be a better way to go overall, but greens mixes do have their place because they are convenient and you can pack them, you can travel with them, and you can let them sit in your house for extended periods of time. So in case you ever don't have fresh vegetables for a juice in the morning, then you can add the greens and you can get some nutrition that way. In all cases, I would always recommend sticking with whole vegetables though. Whole vegetables have benefits that neither juices or green powders have. To begin with, vegetables are very rich in fiber, something that no juice and no greens powder has significant amounts of. And even better, the fiber is wrapping the nutrients and potentially making the nutrients easy to absorb, although I should also mention that fiber can cause certain nutrients to be less well absorbed. The other thing about vegetables is that they are satiating and they fill you up, and it takes around 4 hours of time for them to pass all the way through your digestive system. So you have almost 3 times as much time to absorb the nutrients from a whole vegetable as you do the nutrients from a juice. The satiating factor is important too, simply because they can help offset some of the calories from some other foods in your diet, and they can cause you to eat less, and that's a huge benefit if you're trying to lose weight, or even if you're just trying to up your the nutrient density of your diet. So, each of these various methods has their benefits, but whenever you have the opportunity, stick with whole vegetables. If you simply want a quick way to boost some nutrition in the middle of the day, for example, a juice is a good way to go. And a greens powder is something that you shouldn't ignore, but it shouldn't be the primary part of your diet. It is just a supplement, and it should be used as a supplement. Subscribe to Ask Brian and get more nutrition every week. Have a nutrition question for me? Go to Peer Trainer University.